When a hacker carries out malicious tasks on the internet or in some private networked environment, his or her actions will leave traces that can be tracked to their original source. A successful hacker is one who can carry out a malicious act in cyberspace and still get away with it. As such, he needs to take measures to ensure that authorities will not be able to find him. One such measure to carry out the necessary subterfuge is to use a proxy server. As the name suggests, a proxy server is a server that resides on the internet and provides remote services for users. The benefit of using a proxy server is that if authorities attempt to trace the IP address of an attacker using a proxy, the information will lead them to the proxy and no further. The investigators would require that the owners of the proxy server cough up their log files in order to get any further. You could take this scenario one step further. A hacker can tether multiple proxy servers together in tandem in what is known as a proxy chain. While using the Kali Linux attack platform, there are a number of out-of-the-box options for evading detection. Among those is tethering a proxy server to a specific terminal window. The benefit of this is that you can assign a number of different proxy servers to different terminal windows. This could present the appearance that multiple attacks are originating from different locations. The downside of this is that you have to manually enter proxy server information for every window being used. You also have to make sure that the proxy servers are operational. A second option is to configure Tor services to run on Kali. Tor, or the Onion router, is an open network of anonymous nodes or relays which function as a system of joined proxies for users of the network. To provide an analogy, this is like taking a very long, circuitous route to a desired destination to avoid being noticed. Addressing information in Tor is cloaked within 3 layers of encryption. The Tor network was designed to keep a user's identity anonymous, but not the data. This is not the same thing as sending data via an encrypted virtual private network. When using Tor services, the identity of the user is hidden because in the chain of proxies that is created, referred to as a Tor circuit, the client knows the IP address of the server, but the server does not know the IP of the client. It has been pointed out by security experts that Tor is most vulnerable when it leaves the exit node, or the last relay in the proxy chain. For this reason, Tor was not meant for such things as making secure purchases online with a credit card. Likewise, if you are visiting certain illegal sites on the darknet, some of your activities might give you away. Your addressing is secure, but with the right snooping tools, your data is not. For carrying out something like a denial of service attack, however, this option might work perfectly for you. The third option is for the user to daisy chain a group of servers together and make them work either dynamically, bouncing back and forth, or as a single functioning unit. The positive aspect of this option is that you can select the list of proxy servers that you want in your chain. These servers could be located all over the globe, including countries that are not friendly with the United States. This would mean that if authorities are tracking you, they would have little to no chance of finding your location because the host country would not cough up the server records. The downside of this option is that the user has to come up with a list of reliable proxy servers that will stay operational. This video demonstration will focus on the first 2 options within Kali Linux. The first option will require us to find proxy server information that we can enter directly into the terminal. The second option will require us to open a configuration file within Kali Linux and then start Tor services from the command line. We will begin with configuring a single proxy server within a terminal window in the next section. In this section, I'm going to connect to a proxy server using a single terminal. When I am connected, this means that the only commands that will be executed under the protection of a proxy server will be those that I execute from this one terminal. In Kali Linux, in order for me to connect to a proxy server in this fashion, I first have to find a proxy server and get its address information. There are a number of places to do this on the web, but one of the most popular, if you'll excuse the title, is called Hide My Ass. This site provides a list of available proxy servers around the world and rates them according to their connection speed and level of anonymity. For this demonstration, I have selected a proxy server that is located in China. It has an HTTPS connection. To assign a proxy server to this console window, I need to enter the following command. Next, I need to validate that my proxy server is working. Since the proxy server is tethered to this console, the address of the proxy will only display in this window. To check the IP of our proxy in this console, we enter the following command. As you can see, within this console we are now operating within the protection of our proxy. The address will not show up from a regular ifconfig command. The curl command provides us with the confirmation that this terminal window is connecting with the proxy. In the next section, I will demonstrate how to set up the Tor services. Imagine, if you will, a hacker sitting at a computer workstation getting ready to launch a denial of service attack. The attacker starts Tor services. Without any action on his part, Tor services initiates a connection with the relay node. We'll say, for the sake of example, in Venezuela. This connection then continues through a series of other nodes located in Romania, Iraq, the Netherlands, and China. When the attacker opens what is myIPaddress.com, he sees that his exit relay is located in Russia. In this example, the first 5 relays serve as kind of a courier capacity, allowing the data to travel to its next stop on the way to the final destination. The Russian relay node is the exit node. This is where the information transfer becomes vulnerable. If a third party is monitoring this point in the chain, then the IP address can be traced back to the last server. Because the exit relay node is unaware of the IP address of the hop just prior, authorities will not be able to trace the attack back to its origin. Okay, in this section we are going to be setting up Tor services. The first thing we'll need to do is edit the configuration file. That file can be found at, if you click on the folder on the left-hand side, and then you find computer, and then etc, then you'll find proxychains.conf. Should be right here. Right-click on the file after you select it, and then go to Open With. I usually use LeafPad. You can pick whatever editor you're comfortable with. When you open the file, I have already edited mine, you're going to make 2 simple changes. By default, strict chain is going to be selected, which just means that the hashtag that is there now would be removed. So you need to put a hashtag back there. That is just means it's a comment symbol. And then when you're done there, you're going to remove the hashtag that is beside dynamic chain. What we're doing here in effect is we are making dynamic chain the option of choice for our proxy chain in Tor. After you finish your editing, go ahead and close these 2 windows. You're going to open a new console window. That's from Applications, Favorites, and then Terminal. You're going to issue the first of several commands. The first command you're going to issue is apt-tac get update. Go ahead and hit enter. When this command is finished, you're going to enter a second command, which I will enter now, and that is apt-tech get install tor. Go ahead and hit enter after you've entered that. I've already installed it, of course. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes. When you've finished with this, you can go ahead and actually you can type in clear to clear the screen. Then you can type in the following commands. So we've just started the Tor service, and to check on the status, we will type in so Tor is running. Now that our Tor service is running, we're going to validate that our proxy service is actually running and we're connected to it. In order to do that, we're going to open another terminal window. And we're going to issue this command. As you can see, this is our new address that our proxy server is running under. In order to do one further validation, we're going to open up another terminal window. And whenever you run, when you're running Tor services, whenever you are running a command within it, you have to start it off with the Proxychains keyword. I've started this statement off with Proxychains or keyword, and I'm going to open up the Kali Linux browser, which is Iceweasel, and I'm going to have it open to page www.ipchicken.com, which will give us our current working IP address. As you can see, we're running under 209.159.138.19, which matches what our IP address was given over here. So we are now, the entire machine now is running under the Tor service, under the proxy server. So that is option 2 for our proxy services. One of the primary goals of a hacker is to carry out an attack and be undetected. That is, unless you're a suicide hacker. Our current cyber landscape is a global network of networks, and in this cyber landscape are millions and millions of addresses. You have to remember that the internet began as a small group of universities that were linked together to share information. The internet was never meant to be used in the way that we're using it. Even with all of the added security that is part of our current digital communications, it is still relatively easy to disguise your location if you're savvy enough to leverage the technology. You should also note that many hackers and other cybercriminals aren't caught by tracking their location, but by making mistakes such as boasting online in social media venues. A few years ago, a ring of Ukrainian e-banking cyber thieves was caught with the inadvertent aid of Facebook. The thieves posted pictures of themselves flashing large handfuls of cash. For this reason, the methods used to catch someone are often the same as those used by others trying to hack into an organization. These would involve some combination of technology with social engineering, which exploits the flaws and weaknesses of human beings. The most effective of these human flaws that can be exploited on a consistent basis is ego. This ends the presentation.